I'm Mega Mike the Movie Man, and today I got a mega movie plan. Mega Mike the Movie Man back with another mega review for y'all. Today I'm going to be reviewing the classic movie, The Shawshank Redemption. I'm going to be going over my general thoughts of the movie. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and my recommendation on whether you should go back and watch this one or not. So stick around to the end of the video for that recommendation. Also, after that recommendation, I will be doing a full unboxing of the physical 4K copy. So that's for my collectors out there. So stick around for that unboxing towards the end of the video. But without further ado, let's get started.
Hereby order you to serve 2 life sentences back to back, 1 for each of your victims. So be it.
Now to get into the good of the movie first. So The Shawshank Redemption is a powerful drama story based on a Stephen King novel. And it's really a character study of somebody that gets convicted wrongly, given 2 life sentences, and then is sent to the Shawshank prison to live out the rest of their days. But under these terrible circumstances, you see a triumph of the human heart and a story of what hope and focus can do. Because this character in this movie, that even though they're now burdened in such a terrible situation, they are making the best out of it, and they're really accomplishing all they can even though they are in prison. So it's a really fascinating and intriguing story, and a lot of elements that play in this movie lead to some awesome twists and a powerful finale towards the end of the movie. So it's just written extremely well. And then also how this movie is filmed. There's a lot of bird eye view shots, there's a lot of top down shots, and then the awesome helicopter shot at the beginning that just sweeps across the prison. And once you see the movie, you'll know exactly about the shot I'm talking about, and you just get a sweeping view of the entire prison just from way high up. It just looks spectacular. So this movie is filmed to absolute perfection. And then just how it's put together with all the music and sounds they choose for it, it just immerses you into this movie. It has a great atmosphere, and you're just engaged into this story with what these characters are going through.
There's something inside they can't touch. What are you talking about? Hope.
Now to get into some more good of the movie. Now the cast here is absolutely amazing. You have the main character played by Tim Robbins, who has a very stoic personality in this movie, but it totally works for this kind of character. And as an audience, we can see him deliberately thinking through every circumstance he has to go through in the movie. And then you have his best friend played by Morgan Freeman, who does an amazing performance in this movie. So even though these characters have different personalities, you totally buy into their friendship, you buy into their business transactions they do in the prison, and you really start rooting for these characters and what they're going through, and that you just want their lives to be a little bit better. And that's what they're trying to do in this movie, is just make their lives a little bit better and their cellmates' lives just a little bit better. And then you also have Morgan Freeman that does a lot of narration throughout the movie, and when he's speaking, that voice is just so powerful, and it just gets you intrigued into the movie every time. And then you have a lot of villainous characters in this movie, like the warden played by Bob Gunton, who's a very subtle villain, but he puts up some major challenges and obstacles for our main characters in this story. And then you have the guard played by Clancy Brown, who's a more in-your-face, malicious kind of villain. And so those two villains paired up together just are a dynamic team that's a really terrible foil for our main characters, and you're really rooting for our main characters to win. So this is just a perfect cast coming together. And then you have a bunch of supporting characters too that add a lot to this overall story.
Damn it, new friend, you're putting me behind.
Hope can drive a man insane.
You better be sick or dead in there, I kid you not.
Now to get into the bad of the movie. Now, great thing here, there isn't any serious negative. This is a brilliant movie, but there are a couple things I did want to caution the audience about. If you're watching this movie for the first time, there are some tough scenes to watch through because it is a prison movie. You know those things are going to come up, but I do think the filmmaker did a great job cutting away from it before it gets too graphic for the audience, but in our minds, we know exactly what happens. So I'll just caution you of that. And then also, this is definitely a movie you have to pay attention to all the way through, starting from the beginning, because a lot of these elements tie together throughout the movie to make for a really impactful finale. So you have to pay attention to every detail because it makes the ending of the movie much more satisfying.
Get busy living or get busy dying.
Now to get into my recommendation of the movie. Now, should you go back and see this one or not? Absolutely, you should go back and see this movie. This is one of the best movies of all time. Some people even consider it their favorite movie of all time. I think this is such a great quality movie from a filmmaking standpoint that just to see it for how it's actually shot is just important by itself. But also, it is a really entertaining story here. And the finale is such a great payoff. If you pay attention to every aspect of this movie, you're going to have such great enjoyment by the end of it. And there's so many different elements at play here in the story and different surprising moments. And this movie completely changes different gears as it goes throughout the story. So it never just lingers too long on one thing. It definitely is a story that keeps building on itself as you go through it. And you keep just getting into more of a connection with these characters and really start rooting for them to succeed. So a very powerful emotional story that I absolutely highly recommend.
Damn right.
Now to get into the unboxing of my 4K copy of the Shawshank Redemption. Now I'm a big collector out here, so I was excited to pick up the physical copy, and finally I did get one with the slipcover, so I was so happy. But look at the front cover here. Now this is just perfect of how it captures the story, and this is a really powerful scene in the movie. If you have seen this movie already, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Great little dialogue scene back and forth between the two main characters. So excellent front cover. Let's take a look at the spine, just kind of simple on the spine with the title. And then let's take a look at the back. And if you want to kind of zoom in on the special features there. Now there are a lot of special features here, and a lot of them are quite long, so I didn't even get through all of them, but I did really like some of the interviews and featurettes I did watch through. So there's tons of hours of extra bonuses there. That makes it worth the physical copy alone. But also just the quality here of the 4K image is fantastic, and everything just comes through very clear in terms of all the characters' clothing, and then when it's raining, and then just the water scenes are fantastic in this quality. Really comes through very nicely. Looks even like a 2000 movie, not a 90s movie in this quality. And then the sound is excellent. I believe it's a 5.1 soundtrack. So not a Dolby Atmos soundtrack, but still pretty good. And to me, it sounded great, especially when it would be raining, or all the music you hear in the movie just comes through really, really nicely. Now let's take the slipcover off and take a look at what the inside looks like. Of course, you have the same front cover and back cover. So let's take a look at what the discs are going to look like. Now, this is a part that's just a little bit of a letdown. It's just kind of basic. You just have really the disc with the titles on there. One blue one, one silver one. So nothing special on the disc. But I did really like the front cover, and the special features in this movie are fantastic. And then just to have, like I said, that 4K quality image for such a brilliantly filmed movie just makes it all the worth it to us collectors to have this physical copy. Really highly recommend picking this one up. And I think it's pretty cheap now as well. So that will do it for today's mega review of the Shawshank Redemption. Let me know in the comments below, have you seen this movie, and do you think this is one of the greatest films of all time? Let's have that movie discussion down below in the comments. Also, if you're discovering my channel for the first time, make sure you subscribe right now. That way I can get you all that future movie review, movie ranking, movie haul, and movie unboxing content. I post often, and I don't want you to miss out on any of that future movie entertainment. Also, feel free to share out this video to anybody who loves films and that is a big physical media collector. That way we can build this mega league of film fans on this channel together. Also, like the video, and this is Mega Mike the Movie Man reminding you to make every day a movie day.